Hi everybody, I'm Alex Hamilton here with Stavers Radio, here interviewing Rich Sentfen.
You got it? Yeah.
Awesome, I pronounced it right. I was hoping I did. He is a veteran working here with us at Boise State. Mr. Sentfen, I thank you for your service. You've done a great deal of work for our country and should not go unappreciated any day. My first question for you is what conflicts did you serve in? What wars did you?
Conflicts, I would say at the beginning, when I first got out of training, the Cuban Missile Crisis was active. That wasn't really a conflict, but it was a pretty tense time for the country because we were a button push away from getting into it with Cuba. So that was going on. Later on, deployed for Vietnam. So that was 66, 67. And then, so Vietnam 66 to 67. And then most recently deployed for Desert Storm.
Okay. Do you have any fond memories from your time within the military?
You know, there were some tough times, but I do just remember the camaraderie with the guys I served with. You know, on our off time, we would go practice Taekwondo together, things like that. So, yeah, that part I remember, and I can't say there's anything nice about conflicts. Nobody really celebrates a conflict. It's just something you do, and at my age, at that time, 19, 20, you know, when during Vietnam, you're just doing a job. You don't really think about the big picture of conflict and that sort of thing. So,
You mentioned how you were in many different conflicts. You were involved in the military during the Cuban Missile Crisis. You were in Vietnam. You were also in Desert Storm. Very drastic changes between the results military-wise on all of those. The end of all the conflicts. What was the climate when you came back? I would say about each time it was obviously somewhat different every time you came back. What was the main striking differences between the three times when you came back?
yeah. Well, there wasn't ever really a deployment and a coming back during the Cuban Missile Crisis. I was working at a missile site at that time, and arriving right out of school, we were working at the missile site 3 days on, and then we'd come back to the air base and spend 2 days off. So 3 on, 2 off. It was just what we were told to do. And so I can't say that when we came back from Vietnam, I wasn't treated badly. I've heard about the other guys having difficulty with reception and that sort of thing. We just were really processed. You know, they said, if you're leaving the service, you don't go this way. If you're staying on, you go that way. And so we just went through the paces. There really wasn't any, we didn't receive any negative reception at that time. And then at Desert Storm, people, the general public was just accustomed to getting on with life and forgetting about what the military was doing. So there really wasn't any particular reception or lack of reception at Desert Storm, and we're just ongoing from then till now. We're still trying to resolve that part of the country. So
You've been involved with Boy State for quite a few years. What exactly does Boy State mean to you?
Well, actually, it's only 2 years. This is my second year at Boise State. And the reason I got started with Boise State was because my wife and I had hosted a foreign exchange student who was nominated for Boise State. And he was a pretty shy guy in high school, didn't mix very well. But when he came back from Boise State, he said, "This is the best thing I've done all year. I wish it had been at the beginning of my year so that he had had the experience from Boise State to teach him how to intermingle and how to associate with the other guys at the high school." So seeing quite a drastic change in his personality and his endorsement, I decided I want to get involved in Boise State and pay back. So,
What lessons throughout the week do you want to teach us as young people?
I'm sorry?
What lessons throughout the week do you want to teach us as young people starting to grow into adulthood?
Well, learning how to cooperate, learning how to listen, organize, all those things are just valuable lessons that it's good to see when the light goes on, when people really see, oh, maybe I should listen to what this guy is saying, even if it's something I don't like, and then maybe he'll listen to what I've got to say. So all of that, I think, is just not even high school students. I mean, it's something valuable for everybody to learn those skills, but you guys have the special opportunity to have a training session on how to do that. So you've got a leg up, I think, once you get out into the business world.
Okay, that was Rich Sentfen with us for Boise State Radio. Thank you again very much, Mr. Sentfen, for having us interview, and thank you again for your service.
My pleasure. Thank you.